Should my boyfriend be able to hang out with girls one-on-one?
Huh.
That's what I said. No.
He's dragging his butt. What the hell, bro?
Aww.
Your boyfriend is dragging his butt on my white couch. What is up with this, Ocean?
Okay.
Start again. Do it again.
Should my boyfriend be able to hang out with girls one-on-one?
Well, are these lesbians? I mean, cause is it the hot girl from the office, the new secretary that's giving him the eye, and she wants to talk to him because she wants his advice because she's having problems with her boyfriend or something? Any normal woman, whether you're married or you live with your boyfriend or you're in a relationship, is not going to like the idea of her man hanging out with some hot girl one-on-one at dinner or drinks late at night, going clubbing or whatever. And that's just, I mean, that should be common sense out of respect for your relationship. You just don't go do things like that unless she's there. So if a guy who's loyal and say he's got a hot female secretary that wanted to hang out, he's like, oh, I want you to meet my girlfriend. Well, all three of us will go together. And he should invite his girlfriend there so she is there with him because that's the appropriate thing to do. Just like if you're married, you're not going to go out one-on-one and go to dinner and drinks with somebody you used to date or somebody that's single and it's got the hots for you. That should be common sense. I don't call up my closest friends. I don't call their wives and say, hey, let's go grab some drinks, even though we've known each other for 40 years. Just because, especially me being me, if I did something like that, right away, I'm like, you're trying to fuck my wife, Corey. It's like, I would never do something like that. So, whenever the holidays come along or it's Mother's Day or Father's Day, I always do joint texts to both of them. So the messages go to both people. So it's full disclosure, just so there's not, hey, where were you texting with my wife for? Just because, again, knowing what I do for a living, if I'm texting one-on-one and we're not planning a surprise party, they're going to be like, what's he up to? They're not going to assume a good thing. So it's just better to not put yourself in a position where you wouldn't want the person you love to question your loyalty. So don't put yourself in a position to do that. That should be common sense. If you're in a relationship, you don't go out with members of the opposite sex and go for drinks or go to dinner or go clubbing with them one-on-one.
What if it's
or long walks in the beach or long walks in the park.
What if it's like their best friend from like childhood, like elementary school?
Again, out of respect, you're like, well, you'd want your girlfriend to go with you.
And they want to go to like the gym.
Well, your girlfriend should be going to the gym with you. It's just respect.
I know a couple that does that. I was just watching a movie like that. I mean, it's called The Kissing Booth.
Oh, I love that movie.
But the two, she actually likes his older brother, but they've been best friends since their parents. They've been best friends. They've been best friends since they were born, and their moms were best friends. So her and the boy were best friends. Yeah. And they had like a whole list of like things, but they hung out one-on-one until he got a girlfriend, and then the girlfriend was like, I'm tired of her hanging around us all the time.
Always third wheeling or something.
Yeah. But I don't know, and she's dating the older brother in the movie too, so I don't know if that's weird.
Because then she has a crush on her best friend's brother, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't like it.
Yeah, and he doesn't like it. But there's no like sexual attraction. At first I thought there was going to be, but then it turns out that it's not.
Yeah, it was like when I had my ex-girlfriend visiting last year. I didn't go out and hang out with her one-on-one. My girlfriend at the time came with me because it would be rude and disrespectful. If I was to hang out with her one-on-one, she's going to think, oh, they must be fucking again. She must be trying to steal my man. And it's just, I mean, that should be common sense. You shouldn't even have to think about it. Because man, woman, doesn't matter. If you go out and hang out one-on-one in the evening or go to drinks with somebody that is a member of the opposite sex and they're single or you used to date, any normal person is going to think something's going on. I mean, what if you're hanging out, you have a girlfriend, you're in a relationship, and then your ex-girlfriend comes into town. Maybe she just had a breakup and you guys have always kind of stayed in touch, and she wanted to hang out. And then you go and have a few drinks and dinner with her to catch up. Maybe you haven't seen her in a few years. And then you're out at a restaurant, and then you run into your girlfriend's parents. Or say you're married, you run into your wife's parents while you're with this attractive person that you used to date. The wife's parents right away are going to be assuming, or the girlfriend's parents are going to be assuming that you're cheating on their daughter, and they're probably not going to be too happy about that. Or maybe they see you there, and you didn't see them as you're walking out, and they're like,
no, it doesn't look good.
they're going to think something's going on, and they're going to tell their daughter. Or maybe her best friend is out with her boyfriend, and they see you out with some other girl.
They snap a picture of you guys being a little too friendly.
Yeah, well, they seemed to really be having a good time. They were really laughing and yucking it up together and doing shots, and it looked like they were on a date. If that gets back to your girl, that's going to be a really unpleasant conversation, even if nothing happened, just because it doesn't look good. So don't do things that don't look good.
What about the guys that would be like, oh, you're just insecure. If you were confident in us, you wouldn't feel that way.
It's like it has nothing to do with being secure or not. It's called respect. Because if your girl is your queen, then you're never ever going to put yourself in a situation where somebody else that knows you sees you with another woman, because any normal person is going to think, well, maybe they're not together or maybe they're cheating. That's what they're going to assume.
What if they're like, you shouldn't care what other people think? I know all the toxic, like, feedback from guys. Yeah. You shouldn't care what other people think.
It's literally gaslighting. That's
literally
what it is.
Gaslighting.
No, it's called respect. It's mutual respect. And if you think that's okay, well, then typically that means our values are in conflict.
You have different.
And so I wouldn't do that personally. I'm not going to go, especially me and what I do for a living. It's no girl I'm ever dating is going to like me hanging out one-on-one with one of my ex-girlfriends, because I'm on good terms with a lot of them.
Yeah. Rocky has a point.
Yep, he had a point. So it's just respect. And if the other person doesn't see it that way, then you probably got a value conflict. Yeah. And that's not going to work.
That's true. It's like, it's okay if you disagree with that. That's fine. But, or like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you've got ex-boyfriends that you're friendly with. I wouldn't think
I used to, yeah.
I wouldn't think your boyfriend would like you hanging out with them or texting them or meeting them for drinks or going to events or parties with them.
Yeah. Like, I dated some guys that were okay with it. They were like, oh, like, I trust you. You know, I know you're not going to do anything. And then I have other guys that are like, absolutely not. There's no point for you to be talking to them. So obviously I'm going to respect each to their own. If you say it's okay, then it's okay. If it's not okay, then it's not okay.
Yeah, but honestly, it shouldn't be a conversation that even comes up.
Yeah.
That should be common sense.
Like, if you have to ask if it's okay, then it's probably not okay.
Not okay, yeah.